Sree Ram, and warm welcome to a special episode of the SparkLab podcast hosted by SSSIHL Institutions Innovation Council IIC. My name is Ravikanth, and I've got a special guest today. Is Sree Rama Murthy. Saram sir, good morning. How are you today?
Saram sir, so nice. Thank you.
Great. So Sree Rama Murthy Garuda has done his education economics in Bharti, BA Economics. He's done his MBA from Andhra University and a senior management program in IIMC. He's currently pursuing his PhD from ICFAI on public policy. Coming to his career, Murthy Garuda, as we fondly call him, has worked at PNG, ITC Tobacco, 14 years at Airtel. He's been the business head for Spice Handsets and the distribution head for Aircel. And the last 7 years, he's been into the startup ecosystem as a mentor advisor at SSSIHL Learning as well as Andhra University. He's basically a go-to man for sales, consulting, and GTM for startups as such. He's in the board of OSel Devices and also advisor for Ideabaaz. Now, Murthy Garuda, as gentle as he seems to be, has got 2 Guinness records, world records on his name. The first one is where he physically conducted the world's largest mobile gaming and broke his record the second time. And secondly, on bungee jumping, he actually equaled the world's largest commercial tower based at Macau. So that's about you, Murthy Garuda. Any welcome words before we start off?
Thank you so much. It's really very exciting to be speaking on here, that too with our own brothers and sisters, a bigger family. Really looking forward what we can work together.
Absolutely, Murthy Garuda. So what I was actually interested in, I've got a couple of questions listed, but what I was very interested is, you've been part and parcel of the planning team for SparkLab 1.0. I just want to capture the background in terms of the story, what actually happened in the background, who all were actually involved. And I know it was not easy to actually get the permissions, but Sudha went through a bit, but I want your version in terms of what happened in the background before the first class started off in May.
Yeah, actually, it is Swami says, life is a game, play it. That was in full action. The thing is, everybody is a learned person and everybody has got experience. And it becomes very difficult for a leader to, accept everything what is coming. And there is lot of, one thing I can see is a lot of acceptance, because we are moving from not moving, I would say, we are a religious and we are something called, we build a community of brothers and sisters, not only in our college, but even the outside world. So here, the challenge came is how do we institutionalize or how do we bring in the culture of startups here? There is a lot of pushbacks of ideas or concerns, and it was a good intention. And I could see some senior brothers involving and their clarity. How do we bring in? I think one of the biggest thing what I really appreciate our institute's move is moving MBA to Bangalore campus, where they have a large ecosystem, and very fortunate to be part of the some of the activities of Bangalore brothers, in terms of industrial visit or even in terms of giving a guest lecture or maybe part of the Viva Voice and other things. So I could see a lot of energy in our boys, from the current boys, even the outside boys also, the outside world is moving in a different pace and everybody wanted to be part of it. And the model has to be into, circle of inclusivity. So we are not exclusivity, it's actually inclusive, circle of inclusivity, where there I could see Brother Pallav, NLS Murthy, or even Pavan, or even Sudha Madam, or Manish, or Prashant, or so many people, very learned people from our own brothers. There are a lot of people, my junior, my senior, everybody is there. And I could see the energy in them in terms of to make it right this time. God gives chances and we have to take chances to acknowledge that and to move forward. Absolutely. The biggest learning for me is, so softly and how stubborn sometimes we have to take calls in the interest of everybody. That is something really amazing. Even I could see the Anantapur sisters, the way they have put up what you mentioned, Usha Madam, or even Shweta madam, even our other sisters,
Mm.
the kind of, the ideas they come up, the kind of advice they come up. And the best part is, in corporate, outside the EGO goes up.
Yeah.
But here, actually, I could see the EGO is zero. Yeah,
Absolutely.
just so sweet in terms of, the conversations and how do we do it. The best part is how do we do it. And my
Absolutely.
personal best experience has been the last assignment, like what the institute has done in terms of, I think it happened in January, if I'm not wrong, where we had the 2 days, this one, carrying lot of guests from here,
Mm.
yeah, and getting them engaged there and trying to bring in whatever we can. It is like Swami says always, his blessings are like ocean.
Yeah.
It is the size of the bucket matters.
Absolutely.
So all that thing I could see in virtual, I mean, in reality. I think
Mm.
that's my first take.
Excellent. Excellent, Murthy Garuda. Thank you so much. So, couple of themes we have, one of which is bridging innovation across spiritual, social, and commercial domains. Murthy Garuda. So, many startups today chase funding and evaluation as primary success metrics. We all know. How does innovation or ecosystem at SSSIHL Learning and IIC particularly reframe success around purpose and service without losing entrepreneurial rigor?
See, my understanding is, see, we are a organization. I will look at, in two angles. One is we are a very large spiritual organization for a purpose, with a purpose.
Yeah.
Spreading the message of Swami with love, and that we do. That is the, the underlying factor. Yes, and the other thing is, the startup which comes in has to be, aligned with this. The best part, what I could see is the startups which have applied and startups which we have shortlisted, they are with a purpose aligned to some of our values. What I find, it is not that they want to become a unicorn next day.
Mm.
Some of the people want to bring in a change in the pregnancy system, the child, what the new mother going to be, what kind of toy she should play, so that there's an impact on the future generation. What a brilliant thought, means that is one thing. And there are other people who are looking at how do we, today in the system, we have so many engineers coming out. And unfortunately, there is a bridge in terms of there's a gap between the market talent, what is required, and what they have acquired.
Yeah.
And somebody is trying to bridge this by coding in, I was taken aback, making small coding videos which are multilingual and also local examples.
Mm.
That was
Alright.
something taken aback. Like, and they're just trying to see help. Help is, and when I asked her, what is your commercial model? No, I just want to help. That is the answer I got from that student. I mean, that applicant. I was so happy, the intention to give back to Swami's institution, mission, just want to help. That's all. I have a good knowledge. I've been in the industry for 15 years. I know what is the problem of coding and why boys or girls unable to compete with the outside market of AI or whatever it is.
Mm.
And they're getting rejected because of, they are not up to the mark. And these people are from deep rural, Kurnool or Anantapur or in engineering colleges. They're struggling. So
Right.
this lady says very, very positive. She says, I just want to help them. That's it. And no expert. I asked her, what is your business model? How much revenue you want to make? This is the answer. And there's also some more startups from, from deep in Northeast. We got one applicant who's trying to help people on health with simple medicines. Nothing, and the two affordable medicines. It is just surrounding, love thy neighbor, they say. He says, just help your surrounding neighbors with this kind of medicine so that you stock it at your home.
Mm.
And you just give them Ayurvedic medicine. This doesn't require any prescription, just requires only logic and understanding. And we are there to help you on a chat. So everybody is trying to do the mission in his own style.
Mm.
This is what is actually, I am getting the message whenever I interact with the new startup.
Absolutely, Muthika. I think lovely. I think the world should know this, and I'm very happy that we're actually recording. Because I've actually done maybe 4 or 5 recordings, and in such detail, I think no one has been able to articulate. So thanks so much for sharing so much Murthy garu. So moving on to the next one on building entrepreneurial mindset in a values-based university. Uh, in your experience, Murthy garu, what early behavioral habits should founders or students build if they aspire to balance spiritual grounding with future entrepreneurial leadership?
One thing I want to be realistic in this point, especially,
Sure.
I would recommend everyone is don't miss. If your business doesn't make sense, don't do. First, in business angle, you have to be very clear. Business is meant for profit or give value for the shareholders, stakeholders. You know, we can do social things only when we are having some money with us. So I recommend strongly the mindset of the whoever is coming. They should come with a business mindset in terms of taking care of his expense and taking care of his expectations.
Yep.
Then post that he can look at in terms of making it spiritual or making it this one, because no one respects if you're if you don't have a business sense for the program.
Absolutely.
It has to be profitable. Even if it's 10%, that's okay.
Mm.
You should not do a venture. That's the very first thing I tell. Second thing I tell all the new startup entrepreneurs is, if you build what you want, you will take a lot of time. If you build what customer wants or the pain point wants, you will be successful faster. There's a minute difference in this. Your problem identification, your strategy to solve a problem. If you think that you are the best and your solution is the best, I would say that is the biggest blunder he's doing. So he has to go with the wind and find out a solution how we can address a problem. The biggest example for what we have seen is example a Blinkit, which has addressed the urgency, impatience of a child, impatience of a newly married couple. They have identified. They just want urgently 10 minutes, 5 minutes they want.
Yep.
Or less. So now that it is becoming a huge market. Today, when you say you will do delivery after 2 days, 3 days, people will laugh.
Absolutely.
So they have understood the impatience is the key.
Mm. Mm.
So like that, the Uber, Ola, or the other people, they have addressed in terms of without having your own assets and warehouses, you can build projects.
Absolutely.
So you have to see how you can leverage the ecosystem and your ideas are moving. I know there's a technology cost, all that will come, but you'll have to figure out how do we miss it. That's where I think we have a huge institution to support. So the clarity, what he wants to do, and the problem, what he wants to address, if that is there, I think we are home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I very much appreciate your viewpoint, Murthy garu. I think a business has to be highly successful, not just successful, before it can reach out to society saying that I also want to serve. Because if you don't have that kind of confidence and self-esteem and the kind of money really required, as you rightly said, no one is going to respect you. So that point very well taken, Murthy garu. And coming to the last one, do you believe IIC and SparkLab could become incubation models that inspires similar value-led rural entrepreneurship or entrepreneurship as such across India as part of nation building?
Yeah, 100%. I'll tell you the best, looking at, angle of reach of Swami. He's available in more than, I would say, 100% of all the countries. There's a Sai Samiti and there is a Sai Brothers there.
Yeah.
All these days, I've been waiting for this program to start. Because I, being a distribution guy in my career, we believe in distribution in arm's length.
Yeah.
That's how if you want a Colgate toothpaste, you should get it in an arm's length place. The next door shop should have.
Yeah.
Or you need some service that should be available next door.
Yeah.
Now we have our situation is very different. We have people across the globe, they want to give us something and we are not there. So it is a reverse problem actually. So now by announcing this, we are available in all the countries, all the Sai brothers and youth, and we are supporting in terms of this kind of startups. And it's a very, very big initiative by the institute, coming forward and making this IIC council and our Sathya Institute leading this. And everybody knows what we are and what we stand for. And here the game is very clear. Example, there is a product our startup has done. In my mind, we have virtually, if the product is approved by the council and approved by the market and the systems, for him, the market, what opens is 100 plus countries on the day one.
Yeah.
It is not an easy thing for anybody. And the best part is our alumni spread across the globe.
Yeah.
And they are actually our torch bearers or our great, the biggest strength what we have. So, and they know what to do locally. They know how to support the institute, whatever ideas. And now it is entrepreneurs' thirst to win comes here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely thirst to win. If you don't have fire, then means there's nobody can,
Yeah.
I think there are some examples also we have seen last 2 months. Some people, going that extra mile and the way they got mileage. I know we'll have to figure out, how the model will evolve. But the thing, in my mind is some of the very good work. Actually, I would really appreciate the startup what we are working closely, Garuda Gurukul.
Yeah.
The kind of inclusivity in terms of she's trying to bring with the children, playing together today, which is absent.
Yeah.
Largely through the Balavikas children. And that became a big hit in Hyderabad, 2000 centers it has moved. And there is certainly what I see is so all these startups should study our strengths also.
Yeah.
What our institute has got, research articles, what our institute, our Sathya Central Trust runs the, Balavikas globally or even the devotee system. And the best part is the healthcare. And we have so many, senior citizens working or associated with this one. And our biggest strength is healthcare.
Yeah.
And that healthcare message, in terms of, I don't know how that will translate to help each other,
right,
to make it a better living. And, just end of the day, what we want is just a smile on the face of the opposite person and Swami. That's what is what we want. That's all. Nothing beyond this.
Absolutely, Murthy. I think this episode should actually go viral because you actually talked about the Central Trust in terms of the great initiatives that it's been taking since it was incepted by Swami. And even the last 14 years, if you look at it, there are a lot of new areas that the Central Trust actually is funding. A lot of initiatives is coming, and in the kind of support the Central Trust is giving to the institute, we can actually very clearly see as part of the IIC initiative of SparkLab. So wonderful to hear your thoughts. And I know version 2.0, SparkLab 2.0 is coming sometime in the future. But if you were to really look at the kind of planning we all did, any kind of 4 or 5 inputs you have over your head in terms of how we can actually improve our planning phase or whatever the strategy it was, so that 2.0 is far better than 1.0.
Yes, certainly. I think we had, in fact, last 2 months or even the selection process that previously in the last 2-3 programs what we have conducted, there has been a lot of, where we can add more value, I would say, from the learnings. First thing first is, it is like what touched me is, the inclusivity factor. We are involving students, current students, we're involving alumni, and we are also involving Sai youth, which is, for me, it is like, I get goosebumps when I see the applicants, what we have opened up.
Yeah.
So today, once these 24 or 25 startups going to the market or making their journey, we will have just only adding zeros every day or maybe very often. It will be 250 or 300 or I don't know, 500 or maybe 2000. I don't know. So, but that is going to be the power now.
Yeah.
So what we need is a demand supply here. One side we'll have is a demand of so many startups want to come. The supply factor should be in terms of our mentors and our ecosystem supporting it.
Absolutely.
So maybe the once we grow bigger way, I'm sure a lot of governments also want to do handshake with us. A lot of bigger institutions will do handshake with us.
Mm.
And so what matters now is in terms of our capacity building.
Yeah.
More mentors required, more institutions participation will come. So we required more knowledgeable people coming on board. It is like a Ramassetu.
Absolutely.
There are so many monkeys and so many squirrels. So this is what I think going to be reality very soon. Swami's dream. All of
Absolutely.
us working together in a various capacities,
Mm.
and this is going to happen. And I would strongly recommend, institute should, our IIC should take initiatives in whatever Swami's principles.
Yep.
One is on educare or, in terms of healthcare. These things, if we do, I think the mission is done. What Swami wants, education for all.
Yeah.
What Swami wants, healthcare for all, accessible.
Mm.
I don't know how the startups will work. There's a finance angle, there's a profit angle, because it has to make business sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It has to
Murthy.
make business sense, and we also need to involve a lot of NGO communities who would love to be part of it.
Yeah.
Some good work is being done, and some people who cannot afford
Mm.
can be sponsored or can be taken up by the NGOs.
Yeah.
So we will require a bigger ecosystem to. That's what I'm seeing. In the maybe next year when we speak same time.
Mm.
Today we're talking about 25 startup. Tomorrow maybe next time maybe 250 or 300. I don't know how much. And
Yeah.
we also will be looking at mentors. Today we have about 25, 30.
Mm.
That will go to a few hundreds again.
Absolutely.
So it is, and also I would recommend strongly, institute should do this in every place possible. Like showing to the world, that example, they start with all metro cities in India that institute is having like this. Maybe one of the meetings, every time the meeting venue should be, it could be in Satyam in Chennai, or it could be Shivam in Hyderabad, or Sundaram in Chennai,
Yeah.
and Satyam in Mumbai.
Yeah.
Something like this, Swami's message going in, every city, and the local youth comes there, and it will be a great moment of Swami's dream coming.
Absolutely. Yeah. Murthy garu. I think one aspect which I want to maybe talk before we end is, we do say it's a Sai organization, a Sai community as such. But surprisingly, for some of these mentees that I had, when I reached out to my network, who necessarily were not into the Sai system, they actually opened their network. So when all my four mentees spoke to, let's say, Pankaj Rai or Shivanshu, or a Ganapati or a Madhu, and they opened their network, but they understood what they wanted to solve, and they identified a person who was actually in that particular industry already been working on that. And when we reached out to them, they were very open. I mean, what should I say? They're not some devotees, but I felt that they had compassionate hearts and they are actually understood the intent of it. And they're as well as good as Swami's devotees. I mean, if you look at it, Swami is in different form, as we say, right? He also used to say, don't identify me just in this particular form. I'm actually everywhere. And I could actually see that where, essentially non-Sai devotees, but exhibiting exactly the principles that Swami actually wants us to live by. So I think that aspect also got included part of SparkLab 1.0, and which I really loved it very much. Just want to share.
Absolutely. See, one thing I'll tell you, Ravi sir, my old boss used to tell one thing in sales or a typical when it comes to business, 1 + 1 is greater than 3, he says. So when you do a handshake with somebody, and if it's a good intention, the outcome becomes much more bigger. And we also need to have one more thing, sir. We should know how to handle success also. Yeah, today we are 25 thing. Tomorrow will be 250. Tomorrow will be maybe more. How do we handle the success? Because there'll be so many queries coming in. We may have to put a helpline desk. We may have to put a ecosystem where people can raise their requests and reach out. And tomorrow, thousands and lakhs of devotees will come. There's one startup which is there now. I'm sure it'll be a very big hit once IIC improves in terms of Swami's 100th year collections on silver jewelry.
Right.
My God, the kind of work that boy is doing from a rural village, just only one intention. Swami's message should go to everybody in a nice format.
Yeah.
So it is going to be as you said, the outside world is going to get opened up.
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely. Great speaking with you today, Murthy Garu. I think we covered a lot of insights, value add for, I think, even the outside starters, when they actually listen to your advice, it does make commercial sense for them as well. So thanks a lot for your time. And I'll pull you in for another episode later on, Murthy Garu. Thank you so much for spending time today.
So thank you so much. Saira.